Hi everybody, my name is Astrid Northrup and I'm your instructor for ES 2330 Fluid Mechanics Dynamics. I'm going to go through some introductory procedures for this course, let you know how to navigate the Moodle page, the course syllabus, how to access all of the materials, and ultimately how to earn the grade that you want in this class. So having said that, let's begin. You'll see on the first flash page here, I've just got the nwc.edu portal. And this is where it all starts. When you want to access our class page, you need to start at nwc.edu and then go to my NWC portal. Now, in order for this to work for you, you're going to have to make sure that your account is set up. All of the emails that I send to you will be sent through your NWC email account. So you need to go through the procedure for getting that set up correctly. It's not very difficult. Most people have a very easy time of it, but if you're not able to, please let me know and I will help you. Speaking of me helping you and getting a hold of me, the best way to do that is always through email. My email address is available through the web page. It's also available through our Moodle page, and just in case you don't have it in either of those two forums, it is astrid.northrup@nwc.edu. So once you go to the nwc.edu page and you click that button that I showed you, which is my portal, my NWC portal, which is right here, you'll arrive at a page that looks like this. And yours is going to be slightly different than mine because as a faculty member, my page looks a little different, but essentially your page will look the same. Over here on the right, you'll see a logo for Moodle, which is our learning management system. And underneath, you will see this class, Fluid Dynamics, and any other classes that you might be taking. So you click on the class of interest, which here is Fluid Dynamics. And I'm going to see if I can enlarge this a little bit. It doesn't want to. We'll just leave it like this. But so the class that you're taking now from me is the summer of 2018 Fluid Dynamics. Okay, so what you'll see is a bunch of material. Starting with the introductory material, there's a little PDF file that helps you get your computer ready for fluids. And if you have any trouble with this, you can also call me, or you can call our instructional technology people, and they can help you as well. The lectures that I have are mostly loaded up to YouTube. They're sometimes on a system that we have here called Vodcasting or VBrick, and occasionally those will load rather slowly depending on where you are and so forth. But if you have any trouble, please let me know, but you should just be able to click on everything and have it come up. Now, in terms of introductory material, you'll see that we have a Math Concepts Pretest, which we'll talk about in just a moment, the textbook appendices, the property tables, and an honor code for students and proctors. Right here, where it says, you can see shadowed, Vodcast number 1, Introductory Material for Spring 2018. This video that I'm recording for you right now will be here, so it will instead say Vodcast number 1, Introductory Material for Summer of 2018. And that will be available to you at all times. So the two things that we're going to do in this video are learn how to navigate the Moodle page, and then we're going to go specifically through the syllabus, which contains the schedule. The schedule on the Moodle page and the schedule on the syllabus are identical to each other, so you'll know when all of your deadlines are, how to submit all of your stuff, and how to get the grade that you want to have in this class. All right, so the first element you'll see as you scroll down on Moodles is the syllabus. I've revised this today. Our class doesn't officially start until the 18th, which is next Monday. Today is Wednesday, the 13th, but I did get permission from the instructional technology people to present this material and open the Moodle page early. So the deadlines are all set for starting the class on the 18th, but if you want to get started, the material is available to you, so you can start anytime you want. So when you click on that button, the syllabus revised 613, you will get this document. And if you want to, you can pull this up on your computer right now. But basically it tells you the name of the course, the number of the course, the term, and the ideas that we have in terms of the class itself. So the first thing is we have some objectives and some goals that we're going to reach in this class. I'm just going to pull this down a little bit so we can see the whole thing. Now it's a little messy, but that's okay. You can see here's the syllabus on top of our Moodle page. All right, so you can see how to contact me. This is my office phone. I really suggest that you not call me because I'm not here on a regular basis during the summer. So the absolute best way to get a hold of me is via email. So if you email me at aster.northrup@nwc.edu, I'll get back to you very, very quickly. So the objectives of this course, the goal is to introduce the fundamental aspects of fluid dynamics, and we have some of the specific topics that we cover. You'll be able to set up and solve problems involving hydrostatics, the Bernoulli equation, Reynolds transport theorem, Navier-Stokes, pressure drop in piping systems, and the analysis of dimensionless groups, and also evaluation of centrifugal pumps. We just kind of touch on that. That's not really a huge issue in this class, but we'll cover enough that you'll be able to deal with it in your future depending on what your major is and what classes you have that have this course as a prerequisite. Catalog description. Students study incompressible flow of ideal and real fluids at rest and in motion. The fluids may be liquids, vapors, gases, or combinations. The effects of static forces and compressibility are given special attention. We look at kinematics, dynamics, flow resistance, and physical effects of flow. And we also look at potential and stream functions, as well as similitude and dimensional analysis. Now, if you don't know what those things are, that just means that you're in the right place, because you will learn what all those definitions mean over the course of this class. So the prerequisites, you really need to have completed Calc 3 and either Dynamics or Physics 1. However, if you have successfully completed Statics and you have either completed or are concurrently enrolled in Thermo, I will consider that adequate for your enrollment. Now, the reason that we have Calc 3 as a prerequisite is because the math in here really requires that level of knowledge of calculus. So it's not an arbitrary or sorting prerequisite. It's just that that's how much math you need in order to finish this course successfully. So below then, right here, you see that we have a course outline. Basically, we cover chapters 1 through 9, not every single section, but most of the sections, which are outlined here. And then we will cover chapter 12. Now, the entire book is posted to the Moodle page. You can buy the book if you want to, but I have purchased enough copies of the book and I own them myself so that I have enough copies that everybody in this class can access the book online without violating any copyright laws. So there are two things. If you'd like to buy a book, you can go online and buy this textbook. It's usually available for less than $20 because it's an older edition. However, I also have textbooks if you'd like me to send one to you in the mail so that you can have that hard copy book. I would be happy to do so. But if you just want to use the book as it's printed on the Moodle page, it's exactly the same. So the textbook is The Fundamentals of Fluid Mechanics, the 4th edition, by Munson, Young, Okishi, and Hubish, and it's published by John Wiley & Sons. Now I'm just going to pull up the screen here for just a second. And this is what the textbook looks like. Right? So if you need the textbook and you're wondering, if you go on Amazon or whatever and you're not sure, this is the correct edition. It is the 4th edition, which was published in about 2002. So it's not a brand new textbook, but it is still widely available. The ISBN number is on the back. If I can get it on the screen. Maybe not. This is weird because it's backward in case you've ever done this before. There it is. Okay, see the ISBN right there? In the bottom. There you go. All right, so if you wish to purchase the book, you are welcome to, but there is no need for you to do so. All right, so going back to the syllabus then, this schedule will keep us on task. The course runs from June 18th to August 1st. However, I will be accepting some assignments, and you can take your final exam by the 8th of August. Now, all of these numbers are deadlines. You can turn in any or all of your homework and take your midterm and or your final anytime starting today after you make arrangements with me, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So these due dates are deadlines. Now, when you go to Moodle, for example, let's look at the math pretest, which we'll talk about in just a moment. It says that it's due by the 21st of June. If you look at the button, it may tell you that it's due by the 22nd of June, but the reason for that is it's due at 0 hours on the 22nd. I did that because if I set it for the 21st, I can only set it for 5 minutes before midnight at the very latest. So I set it for midnight, essentially on the 22nd. But don't get yourself fooled. It is due by the 21st in order to get full credit. Then chapter 1 homework on the 25th, and so forth. Now the midterm exam and the final exam, both of which will take you 2 hours, are proctored paper exams. We'll talk a little bit more about the proctoring procedure, but you will have to have an instructor or somebody who is affiliated with the university or a K-12 school district that is not related to you. In some cases, I would accept a relative, but we need to discuss that. So you need to make arrangements for a proctor on your own. And then you need to let me communicate with your proctor via their professional email, possibly by telephone. But all that material will be sent through a proctor, and you'll be required to find your own proctor and work with your proctor to get those 2 exams taken. The homework just comes in through Moodle, which I'll explain as well. But there's no proctoring of the homework, but the 2 exams are proctored. All right, so the tentative schedule, you'll see that we have class numbers, which are, sort of arbitrary because you may do 3 classes in one day and then take the weekend off or something like that. But basically, we have vodcast numbers. So you see that chapter 1 is covered in 3 vodcasts, numbers 2, 3, and 4. Then there are 4 vodcasts for chapter 2. And each one of these are already developed. I have created all of these vodcasts, and they are all available on the Moodle page. So the procedure would be to watch the vodcasts, do the homework, and then submit the homework no later than the due date stated here on the syllabus. So you'll do chapter 1 homework, chapter 2 homework, submit those to me, chapter 3 homework, and chapter 4 homework, and then you will do the proctored midterm exam. Then for the second half, chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then there's a final paper that's actually not part of the final exam, but you'll submit that at the same time as, or no later than, I should say not at the same time, but no later than the final exam, which is actually the 8th of August. Now, once again, you can take anything before that if you want. Okay, now line 43 here is obviously a mistake. It says July 19th. Wednesday is the last day of the semester. That just needs to be stricken from the syllabus. That is just a mistake. But 44 and 45 tells us that the proctored final exam, comprehensive 2 hours, needs to be completed by the 8th of August at midnight. And as I said, any of these items can be taken early. These are just deadlines. Okay, so the grading. essentially we have 11 homework assignments. We have a math pretest, 9 chapters, and a final paper. Together, those 11 assignments are worth 20% of your grade. The proctored midterm will be worth 40%, and the proctored final will be worth the remaining 40%. Now, it's very important here. It says all homework must be scanned and submitted through Moodle. I will show you how to turn in the homework. I have a homework template posted to our Moodle page, so I'll show you what I want you to look like. I just cannot accept emailed or handwritten or texted homework. Has to come in through Moodle. If you miss a deadline, I have a button for submission of late homework, and it will be time-stamped for me. You'll get partial credit, but if it's a little bit late, you'll get a lot of credit, and if it's very late, you'll get less credit. But if you just turn it in, if you're not able to turn it in through the regular submit button, for example, if you're out of town and you finish your homework at the cabin and you don't have a scanner, you may have to wait till Monday morning to turn in your homework. You just need to do it through the late button, which will be open to you for the entirety of the semester, actually until the 8th of August. Okay, we have a disability statement. Basically, if you have a disability, if you let me know what that is, I can help accommodate you. Or we also have a disability support service coordinator, and we can make sure that your accommodations are met. The second statement is the statement of non-discrimination. Northwest College does not discriminate based on any of these factors, and there are 8 or 9 protected classes in the state of Wyoming, and they are all going to be respected without any question in this course. Northwest College Respect for Diversity. Once again, we do not discriminate based on any of these factors: race, age, gender identity, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender itself as contrasted to gender identity, nationality, citizenship, religious affiliation, or disability. So that's just a statement of guarantee for you. And, you know, in engineering, we tend to be a pretty diverse lot anyway, so we are pretty good at this, I like to think. But it's a guarantee to you that regardless of your concerns, you will be treated fairly and you will not be discriminated against. Now, if for any reason you're not able to complete this course, you need to make sure that you drop or withdraw from the class. If you don't do that, you'll get an F, which never is a good idea. So you need to go through the formal process to drop or withdraw, and I'll accept withdrawals very late into the term. If you have trouble, let me know, but once again, it just becomes your responsibility to do the drop or withdraw. All right. The final exam schedule, there is a final exam schedule, but of course, since this is an online course in an odd semester, we just have our schedule that we're following. But if there's anything that you need help with, you can work with that. Now, here are some of the resources that are available to you. Even though we're doing this class at a distance, you still have access to our Student Success Center. You have access to our tutoring center. Although it's very difficult to find a tutor for fluids, I would suggest that you email me if you have trouble. We also have a Child Learning and Care Center. We have the library, which there's tons and tons of online resources available to you, as well as a hard copy in the library. The Project Succeed Trio, and we have some online tutoring services. Now, we also have an emergency procedure guideline, which, as distance students, I don't think this is going to be directly relevant to us. However, do keep it in mind and the resources available to you. Alrighty, so let's go back to the Moodle page and see where everything is set up. Now, the first thing I want to show you that we've talked about is this homework template. The homework template is how I want your homework to look, and you will be graded on this, so it's very important that you submit homework in the proper format. Now, if you look at this homework template, the first thing you'll see is it must be submitted on quadrille paper, and sometimes we refer to quadrille paper as engineering comp paper, and I am sure that you have seen this before. It tends to be green, but this is what it looks like holding up in front of my face and the webcam. So I'm not addicted to the green color. It can be white or yellow or whatever, but the quadrille or the grid is the important thing. The next thing is you only write on the front. You don't write on both sides. And the third thing is you need to clearly identify your name, the name of the course, the problem set, and the due date. All right. Now the reason I do this is because sometimes I teach several classes, and sometimes my students are in more of one of my classes. So when homework comes in like this, I can quickly separate it and make sure that everything is in proper order. You also need to submit how many pages, 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3, for example. The reason for this is if you scan your work and I'm missing one of your pages, I can alert you to that and we can work on a solution. Now the rest of it is, I always tell my students, every engineering problem is an essay problem. It's a mathematical equivalent of an essay question. It has to be written. The answer alone is not that big of a deal to me. So we can all get the answers out of the back of the book or on Chegg or anywhere else. I want to see your thought process. So what I'm really grading you on and what I'll critique you on is your thought process. The answer itself needs to consist of a number and a unit. I like to see close to the right number of significant figures. I'm not really a stickler for that. But if something should be written as having, in this case, this number, we have 3 significance, 3, 3, so the answer will be 3 sig figs. If you had written this as 2 or 4 sig figs, you would probably get full credit. If you had written it as 11 sig figs, not so much. The unit is intrinsic to the answer. The number alone is not meaning to me. And especially in fluids, units are a big deal. You can also, there's actually part of our material, dimensional analysis, in which you use the dimensions or secondarily the units in order to develop a flow for solving the problem. So it's a very important topic in fluids, and units must always be included. All right, so basically I want you to separate each problem, problem 1.5.1, problem 5.4. They're separated from each other. I don't really care if you put a line here. A line is nice if you have a straight edge, but definitely leave lots of room and separate the problems. If it's appropriate to have a drawing, you need to have one. You need to tell me what sort of a theory and assumption you're using, and then your solution, like I said, is an essay problem. Your answer is clearly delineated, answer consisting of number plus units. This is clearly delineated by being double underlined, which is awesome. If you prefer putting a box around it or scooting it off to the side and underlining it with a single underline, that's fine. But it needs to pop out of your work. So that homework template is available on your Moodle page right here. And you can access that when you're doing your homework before you turn it in. Now, the material is divided into introductory material. I'm going to come back. Don't mean to make you dizzy. The material for the first half of the midterm exam, which are chapters 1 and 2. The material for the second half of the midterm exam, which is chapters 3 and 4. And that actually takes us up to the midterm, which is July 12th. So this is a month in the future. The rest of the material is lined out as well, but we're going to kind of stop there so that we can concentrate on the idea. By the time we get down to the midterm, you're going to be really good at navigating this Moodle page. You should be good at it in a very short amount of time. Now, the one thing I would like to show you is the math concepts pretest, this first piece of homework that you're going to turn in. And then we have the textbook appendices, which are just PDF files taken directly from your textbook. And all of the unit conversion tables, all of the data that you need is available to you through those tables. So the pieces of the textbook textbook appendices, property tables, and later you'll see chapters 1, 2, 3, etc., are identical to the hardcover textbook. So whenever you need material, you can go straight to the Moodle page. Like I said, you are welcome to buy a textbook, or you're welcome to borrow one from me, but you really won't need it because it's all available here. But if you prefer it, just let me know and I'll send you one, or you can buy one on, I don't know, Amazon for sure, other sites as well. Now the honor code is something that when you are going to be taking an exam with a proctor, both you and your proctor will have to sign it. And you can look at this in detail. But basically it's a sworn statement that says that you're not going to cheat, and that cheating involves a lot of different ideas, but that no cheating is going to be involved. The syllabus, which we're going over, including the schedule, is right here. So once again, you can always check your syllabus to see what's up. Okay, now the first thing I want to show you, submit. When you see the word submit, that is where you turn in homework. This is Submit Math Concepts Pretest, and it gives you the deadline. If you come down here, you'll see another submit button, submit homework number 1, deadline. So in other words, all of the buttons that have a submit on them are where you turn in your homework. So I've shown you the Math Concepts Pretest, which is the first homework, Chapter 1 homework, Chapter 2 homework. If you miss the deadline to submit that, any of these, at the very bottom of our Moodle page, you will see a button, Submit Late Homework for Partial Credit, no later than August 8th, midnight, August 8th, 2018. So anytime if you miss a deadline, submit it here. You don't really have to explain to me why it's late, and I will let you know how much partial credit you get. But I will guarantee you that if you're just a few minutes late, you're going to get full credit. If you're a day late, you may miss a little bit. If you're weeks late, you're still going to get, it's still going to be so much better than not turning it in. But the partial credit will be directly proportional to how late the homework is. You can turn everything in here. It's open for 11 files, so you could turn in all 11 of your homeworks here for partial credit. Of course, the best thing to do is to turn it in through the actual submission button. Here's Submit Chapter 8. Here's Submit Chapter 9, and so forth. But that way you'll get full credit, no questions asked. All right, so how do you get ready to do your homework? Well, let's talk about Chapter 1 now specifically. The first thing you're going to do is the Math Concepts Pretest, and I'll talk about that in just a little bit. But this all goes along with the syllabus, but you'll see here's the vodcast number 2, Chapter 1, these sections. The best way to do your homework is to look at what the problems are, homework Chapter 1, and right here you'll see what the problems are. These are all of the homework problems that you'll be doing in Chapter 1. They're associated with the first 3 vodcasts. So you'll watch 3 vodcasts, do these homework problems according to the homework template, and then submit them right here. Now you have to scan. I don't think I've restricted it, but PDF is the best file format to submit. If you try to do a zip file, a lot of times my server won't allow me to take them. So I would suggest PDF files. So anyway, you'll watch 3 vodcasts, using the textbook, do the homework, submit the homework, and then you'll move on to Chapter 2. Do the same thing for Chapter 2, and then same thing for Chapter 3, same thing for Chapter 4, and then you'll be prepared to do the proctored midterm. Now, you have to set an appointment with me, and you have to choose your own proctor. You'll have to make arrangements with the proctor and then give me the proctor's contact information. I contact the proctor directly. Has to be through a professional email account. I will not contact anyone through a Gmail or a Hotmail account. Has to be, uwyo.edu. I'm pretty liberal, but it has to be somebody who has a formal association with the college or university or K-12 school district. If you're in a very remote location, sometimes librarians will do this. But if you have any questions, let me know, and I will help guide you through that process. All right, so now you see how the process goes. You'll do the same thing for Chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the paper will be submitted. You don't have to submit the paper. You can just email that to me, or you can submit it through, I'm sorry, I said email. I don't think I put a button up to submit it. Yeah, here it is. Submit the paper on Turbo Machine. So once again, not emailed, but submitted through Moodle by August 8th. Any late homework needs to be submitted by August 8th, and your file needs to be submitted, scheduled, and taken by August 8th. So August 8th is kind of, it's 1 week past the end of this course. It's when everything has to be in. Then I will grade everything as quickly as possible and get it in. Of course, I'll be grading your homework all along. Your midterm will have been graded long before this, but I will grade things in a very timely fashion because it's important for you to get feedback and to know so that you can adequately gauge your process. Okay, so the first homework assignment is going to be the Math Concepts Pretest. So let me pull it over here and I'll show this to you. The Math Concepts Pretest is just a review of some of the math ideas that are going to be required for you in this course. So here we have some vector math, a dot product, and a cross product. We have a function for which we have to have a gradient. We have a velocity, we have a double integral with some geometry. We have kind of a classical statics problem. We have a resistance problem, which is sort of a development of an equation. And then we have basically a kinematics problem. So this is not a timed test. It's a pretest, just meaning that it's a review of the math prerequisites. So you can work on this on your own time and submit it, once again, using the homework template submitted via Moodle by the due date. And then we'll grade it and see where you are. And then also, if you have any questions, now it's also open book. You don't have to have any of this memorized. This is just for you to reacquaint yourself with these ideas and make sure that you are current on using these ideas in math. So when you take the math pretest, it will sort of alert you to areas that are unfamiliar to you and kind of get you back up to speed with them. But you'll use the homework template, submit it, and that will be your first grade in our class. All right, so that's it for our review. If you have any questions, please contact me through email. Don't forget, I will always contact you through your nwc.edu email account, so make sure that you are up to speed. If you have submitted an alternative email account, I'll send this YouTube video to that email account. It will also be posted on our Moodle page, which will be available to you starting today. However, I will not correspond with you in the future via any email account except your nwc.edu email account. So make sure that it's functional and make sure you check it. All right, well, thank you, everybody, and please email me if you have any questions. So I'll look forward to hearing from you.